Hey everyone, and welcome to the American English School podcast. Today I'm going to be talking to you about what it's like running a business in English online. What are the benefits of being able to have your business online? Well, it can help you get residency in any country you want. Just declare your business in that country and you're good to go. You can also open a bank account in any country you want. You can also travel freely. There's so many benefits of why you should work online, and those are only a few. Let's start from the beginning. How did I start teaching online? My fiance is an expert in digital marketing, and I knew this when I met him. That's one thing that brought us together, was our job. I also was selling online, but physical products. These necklaces. I work for a sterling silver jewelry company and jeweler who makes her own stuff. Very cool, yes. Does it bring enough money? No. Because we have to pay for shipping, we have to pay for rent when we go and sell at events, we have to pay for gas, we have to account for a whole day lost just to be able to sell a few $100s or thousands depending on the event. Is it awesome? Yeah, but not really, because Canada, you need a lot of money to live, a lot. And sometimes what we make isn't enough to be able to cover our living expenses. If you want to live a good life, you still need to be able to make enough money. So there's always a limit. There's a supply and demand. We have to bring in the products from the suppliers, pay the duties, pay the shipping to get into the country, and then ultimately go to the place, pay the rent, sell it. Something that I buy for $10 could be sold at $20 or $30. Yeah, sure, that's true. But if you account the food and everything else in that day of the commute, that's a lot. So does it make enough in the end? Not really. And that's the sad part, because I really did love that job and worked there for a long time. I still will do it on occasion, but my job now is teaching English. And do I love it? Yeah. Is it hard? Yeah. Teaching online is a learning curve. You have to know either the very geeky side of being able to do funnels, knowing how to manage sales, advertisement, that I don't know anything about, let's be honest, I'm terrible with the internet, but my fiance does. So he thought the best way to start was organically. And since I'm a very old school manual person, that I like to be in contact and touch everything that I do and turn it to gold, I thought that was awesome. So we started on TikTok. He was like, TikTok isn't only for a bunch of teenagers doing stupid trends and dances. You can work on TikTok like people work on YouTube. And I said, then why not YouTube? I like YouTube. I've done YouTube. And he said, because YouTube is dying. Let's be honest. YouTube shorts that we have now work, but not as well as TikTok. And YouTube videos don't have a lot of views because the platform is so saturated with content that we can't advance. It makes it hard to break through that barrier and get into the exposure. Whereas TikTok is still growing and they're implementing new ideas and new motivational goals for TikTokers, like live goals or subscription services now, or even live events to make people more engaged, to give them more exposure, and so on. The algorithm on TikTok is easier, but it's also harder. YouTube, you only had to post maybe once a week, twice, 3 times a week max. TikTok, we have to post every 3 hours to get it to work. Is it proven that this works? Yes, because I've done it. I've posted every 3 hours of 24 hours, and that's how I've gotten viral videos. Is it happening now? No, because I'm not focusing so much on the every 3 hour thing. Is that bad? Yes, but I'm only one person. I can only do so much. Which brings us to staff. In a physical store, you have to pay staff. In an online business, you also have to pay staff. So I've gotten help. I need more hours in my day to be able to do this, for example. So I've brought on 2 staff members. One of them is doing exactly what I'm doing with Portuguese lessons. Her name is Victoria. Check her out. She's also on this podcast in another episode. She believes in what we do. She's seen that it's worked. She's seen how we've grown. And she's like, I'm going to do this. Yeah, it's hard. She's going through the same steps as I am. But is she going to make it out okay? Yeah. Because with nothing more than 2 students in her country, she will be making the minimum wage and working almost no hours, just because she knows how to teach her own language. This is the manual way of doing it. Of course, there are shortcuts. Do I know about those shortcuts? I tried. I don't understand them. But you know who does? Asdru, my fiance. So what you got to do with these shortcuts is really study them. They see the landing page and then they can buy. How did he learn to do this? An amazing platform that I believe is actually from Colombia called Seminarios Online. This platform, luckily for you guys, is mostly in Spanish. I believe it also has some Portuguese in there. And you can go in there and study any topic that you want. Digital marketing, how to teach English, learn how to bake cookies, how to be a manicurist, how to be a hairdresser. There are so many different online courses in there that you'll never get through it, which is a good thing. For me, it kind of sucks because I don't understand enough Spanish to understand high-level technicality talk. But for you, you can definitely understand it, which means you can learn how to do my job and make the same amount of money as me or even more, which is the goal, being your best version of yourself. Am I here marketing him? I mean, a little bit. All you need to be able to do this is to have good internet connections and be able to have the patience and the willingness to learn. Marketing is all about understanding the process, understanding your client, your customer, how to sell to them. Yeah, I already knew how to do that when I was selling jewelry, right? But that was a different market. Those were different clients. I implemented that knowledge into this business, but I needed more. I didn't know how to do it exactly online without being physical. I knew how a dance studio ran. I knew how a physical clothing store ran. I knew how a tailor business ran. But I didn't know how an online English school ran. And I did it without knowing anyways. And look where we are. We're doing pretty good, I think. I have a microphone. I'm making a freaking podcast. I'm uploading my live classes to YouTube. I've made a course. Like, can you believe it? Just like Seminarios Online, I've made an online course. That is the coolest thing. And all without me knowing Spanish that well and teaching the thing that I do know, which is English. If you have the drive and the passion to do this, you can do it. That's all you need. You need to have the want and the dedication to work the hours, to put in the time and effort, to be like, this is what I'm doing. And this is what I'm doing, and it's gonna work, sí o sí. This is basically a podcast about motivational speaking at this point, like, but it's helping you learn some vocabulary, I assume, yes? So yeah, you make your decision. Do you want to keep working for people every day in a physical location, taking the bus, driving the car, wasting the gas, wasting your life, so that somebody else can be richer? Or do you want to make yourself rich and do it all alone? It's scary. But later on, you can have some help, and it gets a little easier. Besides, we ain't gonna leave you alone. You got Asdru to help you. So if y'all are interested in learning more about digital marketing, how to have your own business, the ins and outs of doing this kind of thing, all you gotta do is send me a message on WhatsApp, which you probably already have, and I'll throw you over to his WhatsApp and y'all can talk. Luckily, you can talk in Spanish because, you know, he's a Spanish speaker, yeah. And if you ever wanted to know why I speak Spanish more or less okay, it's also because of him. He's a very good teacher. Thanks for listening to my marketing podcast. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. I know there are many of you out there that know a lot more about this than I do, but if you know a little bit, you can make it work. So that's what we're working with. Squeeze lemons to make lemonade. You know, even if it's one little lemon, you can make a whole jar of lemonade, which is what we're doing here at American English. So thanks so much for listening yet again, and I'll catch you in the next podcast episode. Peace, guys.